Tim Ballard is here. Tim's world is a little upside down, wouldn't you say?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Have you peed through any walls lately?
Not lately.
Not lately. Tim Ballard is the founder and CEO of Operation Underground Railroad. He serves as OUR's Jump Team Commander for Rescue Operations. He has spent over a decade working as a special agent for the Department of Homeland Security. He was assigned to the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, deployed undercover, worked for the U.S. Child Sex Tourism Jump Team. He has dedicated his life now to saving children and saving slaves all around the world. We have also just named him the chairman of the Nazarene Fund. And so now his team and our team are working together to not only finish what we started in Syria and Iraq, where he's got some amazing news for us, but also expand now into Africa, Northern Africa in particular. So we are going to take this on globally. Welcome, Tim.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Yeah. So tell me what this means for the Nazarene Fund. Where's the Nazarene Fund? Where are we going?
I think you said it's global now, with still an emphasis on the Middle East and with an emphasis on the Christian communities there that are continuously being persecuted in different ways. It doesn't matter if, for example, we know that the Nazarene Fund did an amazing job moving thousands of people and families out as ISIS was rolling in. But not all of them got out. And even though ISIS has been pushed out of many of those regions, they took some of those people with them. Thousands of those people, children, are stuck with them.
We just rescued a 3-year-old girl who was used as a sex slave.
That's right.
2 weeks ago. Rescued a 3-year-old girl who's used as a sex slave. And she was a toy because she was a Christian.
That's right. These kids, if they're Christian, they are seen as animals, as subhumans, and they'll do anything they want to them. And they are sex slaves, and there's thousands of these kids, these Christian and Yazidi kids who are stuck, and we are going in and getting them out.
And the wives and the mothers are there, and many times the moms have to watch their children be abused, and their children have to watch mom being abused.
It's the most
several times a day.
The most horrifying thing we could dream up.
You say that, and then I'm gonna turn the corner into something that is even darker than that, I think. Maybe not, because these people die right away. But we were alerted about a year ago at the Nazarene Fund, and we were presented evidence that there is organ trafficking going on. That one way for the radicals to make money is to capture Christians and harvest them for organs. And we couldn't believe it. We were presented with videotape that is just horrifying. Your team and our team went and verified the location that this did happen at this location. We couldn't find any of the people. Can you tell us a little bit about the organ harvesting thing that's now happening?
It is horrifying. Like you said, I didn't think things could get darker than sex slavery, and I'm not trying to compare the two, but This is its own kind of unique darkness. And these guys need to make money. They are trying to make money, and they'll exploit and do anything they can. And it is a big market to get organs, particularly, like pediatric hearts are very hard to come by. And they have these kids, and they say, we're going to do it. And they're doing it. We can't reveal details, but we have guys on the ground right now. And
Can you talk about what's going to happen in January?
We will have a report in January that we're working on right now with the intel that we're getting that will, I think, will blow your mind what's going on. We're tapping into things that we're surprised by. We knew it existed. We didn't think it was this big, but this is a very real market, and we're getting the intel, working with the authorities.
Will you, at that time, or not, will you be able to mention the names of the countries that are involved, or do we have to keep that quiet? Right
now, it has to be quiet. By end of January, we'll make a determination of what we can show, but we're planning footage. We're planning to show your audience footage of what this is and what is really happening.
And the reason why we wouldn't tell you what countries are involved is because we would want to be able to go in and infiltrate and shut this down. But you would be shocked if it turns out to be accurate. Does it look like it's turning out?
It looks like it's very accurate, yes.
Any idea how many people are involved in this? I mean, how many do they just go and buy these kids on the open market, or they just how many are?
So we estimate about 6,000 people, a lot of kids that did not make it out, that ISIS and or other criminal organizations in the region got a hold of, and these are the ones we're looking for, and these are the ones that are currently being threatened, to be sold in the organ harvesting market or the sex slavery market. So we're talking, it's in the thousands of people who are stuck, these Christian minorities, these Yazidi minority groups. And so there's so much money to be made there for these dark people.
So, Tim, one of the things that I've always loved about Operation Underground Railroad is that you don't just go get them. The aftercare is so important. You're not going to be able. When we were in Mexico, the things that these women told me that they had gone through for a decade, there is no way to heal on your own. And as I talked to them in one of the safe houses, in one of the places that you fund that is, doing rehabilitation, doing counseling, getting them back into school, it is totally transforming these people. How are we doing in the Middle East on these children that were given as gifts to people, and after they watched possibly their mom, but definitely their dad be beheaded for Christ?
The aftercare part in the Middle East is just like with OUR, same thing with Nazarene Fund. It is paramount. We have amazing partners. I know you've met a lot of those partners already. It's a different kind of dynamic where aftercare is not seen as a culturally accepted thing in those regions, which is so sad. So a lot of our aftercare has to be almost secretive.
So I saw a video from the Nazarene Fund where we had just captured, I don't know if you saw this one, we had just captured a woman, and she was out in the middle of nowhere on this road where we made the transfer to her family.
Yes, yeah.
Do you see this one?
Yes.
And you saw the women just grab onto her, and she just broke down, and they were all, but it was only women really that were there to meet her. And I thought, what happens in that culture to these women who were raped? Can they get back?
They can. And we have to be creative. That's the thing with that part of the restoration. We have a girl we're helping right now. She was passed around at least to 18 different ISIS operators who each of them raped her. 15 years old. She ended up pregnant. We got her out, got her back, and there was one family member that said, "We'll take you, but not that baby." And so then her family rejected her because she was pregnant with an ISIS baby. And so we got creative and found a different solution that we can't reveal. And that's what it is. It's about being creative on the ground. Our guys on the ground are just unbelievable. They're so connected. They're foreign nationals. They know the culture. They know the whole dynamic there. So we're able to be creative and get these kids the care they need in the culture that they live in. These
are really brave Christians, and one that I know of that are, they're caught doing this, and we've already lost 2 people.
That's right.
On our jump team over in the Middle East. They were captured by ISIS and killed by ISIS, trying to rescue, going to go back in and rescue more. These guys are remarkable and marked for death if their identities are.
These guys, I work with them. They are willing to die. They're willing to die to liberate these persecuted people, and it's just an honor for me to even stand in the same room and meet with these people who no one will ever know, and their faces will never be seen by anybody.
We put when we made the announcement that we were partnering with Tim and he was going to be the new CEO, we did so because he has connections, governmental connections all over the world, and we have watched his organization, and we feel that time is of the essence in the Middle East. So we put a goal together of raising in the next 12 months $25 million. $25 million is a lot of money, but as we have seen with the Nazarene Fund, it can go a long, long way. What does the time look like, and what are we up against?
Well, the window's small. We've talked about this. Things change so fast,
Even though ISIS is gone, people don't understand. Now Iran is there.
Exactly. There's a vacuum always, and someone fills it. And when they fill it, the Christians are always the target. It doesn't matter who comes in. They're always the target. They always need us to support. They need us to rescue, to restore, to rebuild. And that's what we're here to do. And it's not just the people. That's the most important part, but the heritage. This is Christian history that's ISIS are trying to destroy. And
I was just talking to Rudy, and he said that we're part of our new goal is, as we're doing all this, to document all of the relics and everything else, so we know and have documented footage and coverage of everything so we know exactly what it was and where it was in case it's destroyed.
Absolutely. Like, for example, there's a prophet in the Old Testament, Nahum, who in Al-Qash has his tomb, and ISIS was trying to destroy it. This brave priest took the bones of this Old Testament prophet and hid it in the desert. And these are the things we're working on too to help restore all this. Now that ISIS is gone and they've tried to destroy the Christian narrative, acting as though it never happened. Well, that's part of this. Some of these people want to go back to their Christian communities, and we're going to help them, those who want to go back, to bring them back into safety and help rebuild. This is an important story. This story touches all of us, and we can't let it fall off the tracks.
This is something that I believe you will absolutely be blessed for if you participate, and participating can just mean prayer power, prayer coverage. Boy, these guys need the prayer coverage. Prayers for inspiration on where to go, where to turn. Been with them, where it's like, no, we're not supposed to move forward. We have to turn around and go another direction with just on promptings. And it has saved lives and freed people. But so it can go from there to $5 a month. Abraham Lincoln is on the $5 bill, the ultimate abolitionist. Well, maybe Ben Franklin was probably a bigger abolitionist. So if you have a Franklin or a Lincoln, but you could make a monthly donation to the Nazarene Fund, the NazareneFund.org, the NazareneFund.org, and let's do some good together. I love talking to you because you live a superhero's life. You live an action-adventure life, and the changes that the updates from you are remarkable. So anybody who had been following OUR's stuff, they did a big sting in Haiti, and everybody said, don't do it, they're corrupt. Well, there's an update on this, and it's remarkable when you actually know people's history and you ask them to stand up, and you can inspire them with their own history, which you did in this example, and you have to hear it today. It's amazing what happens. I mean, are you ever just in awe and because I really believe, and I know you'll laugh at me, they're going to make a statue of you someday. They really will. You are
I don't think so.
No, you are. You're a modern day Bonhoeffer, or I don't know what you are, but you're a true hero. They're going to make a statue of you someday. You ever look back and go, look what I'm involved in?
It's funny. Yeah, we talk about when you're in the moment, you don't even recognize what's going on, and then when you sit back and tell the story, you're like, look what the Lord did.
Yeah,
it's miracles. They're miracles, and you feel like we don't deserve any of the credit because the Lord opens these doors, and we say what we say, and then boom, things move.